So Odell Beckham Jr. was released by the Browns today. Do you think that the Patriots should claim him? I'm going to make this very, very simple. The New England Patriots claiming Odell Beckham Jr. is the biggest no-brainer since Bill Belichick drafted Mac Jones this year. The relationship and the marriage between Odell and the Patriots seems to have been building for the last 5 years. We go all the way back to, I believe it was 2017. It was the 2017 season, the 2018 season. Belichick actually had a trade in principle with the New York Giants. They were ready to move on from Odell. Belichick wanted him. Odell has wanted to play for the Patriots. However, from what I understand and what the media has reported, at the last minute, the Giants were like, man, if Bill Belichick wants this guy, maybe we need to hang on to him. They hang on to him for another year. Things don't really work. Tom Coughlin's not there anymore. He ends up going to the Cleveland Browns for a first-round draft pick. It's a disastrous situation for him. Here's why I think he'd be a perfect fit in New England. Now, there's other places he'd fit too. I think he'd fit the Saints. I think he'd fit the Kansas City Chiefs really well. Possibly the Cowboys, but there's a lot there. Tampa Bay, but again, a lot on the receiving core. Think about Odell when Tom Coughlin was the coach and think about Odell when he wasn't. It's one of those guys who I think needs that type of coaching that can keep him in line. You're going to get that from Bill Belichick in New England, the same way you're going to get that from Sean Payton, the same way that you're going to get that from Andy Reid. You need that. Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh even. You need a coach who can handle a guy like Odell Beckham Jr. I think if OBJ were to come to New England and be a part of this Patriots roster, he wouldn't be... he wouldn't be Randy Moss 2.0 right away or maybe even ever. However, I think playing under a Belichick would be good. You think about Ocho Cinco when he was here. Yes, it didn't really work, but it's not like his attitude was a problem. Belichick was really kind of able to keep him in line. Things worked out really well. And I think one of the biggest things would be he'd be the clear-cut number one. Right? He's better than Nelson Aguilar. He's better than Jacoby Myers. He's better than Kendrick Bourne. He'd be the clear-cut number one. He'd be happy. I think number two, he showed a lot of admiration. He showed a lot of respect towards Odell or towards Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick has showed that same admiration back, and I believe that it'll work. Now, however, there's been players in the past that have really respected Belichick, and Belichick's really respected them, and it didn't work. Michael Bennett being a key piece of that, and the reason Michael Bennett didn't like playing for the Patriots, he didn't get enough snaps, he didn't get enough playing time. Maybe Odell wouldn't be happy with the amount of playing time he gets here. You'd have to assume that even if he gets the playbook really quickly, there's still going to be a learning period. We saw that even with Josh Gordon, and he was probably the receiver who came in and learned the playbook the fastest. However, it's a no-brainer. He'd be a big fit to the Patriots. He would bring them to the level. He would definitely make them a playoff contender in this wide-open AFC. If the Patriots have a chance to put a waiver claim on him, they got to take him.